Friends, family, and countrymen, welcome back to another exciting edition of CCS Sons Workshop. As one does, I happen to be perusing the South China Sea Shipping Company, aka Hazard Fraught, aka Harbor Freight, but this time with a 25% coupon in hand. And one of the items on my wish list for the workshop was a compact benchtop drill press. After looking around a bit on Craigslist for a decent used one, their common going price for something of this size was more than I could walk out the door with that coupon. So I ended up walking out the door for about $110 on this 10-inch benchtop drill press. So we're gonna unbox it and open it up, put it together, probably make some sawdust, poke some holes in some wood, and see what she's all about. Thanks for tuning in. So let's jump right into it here. Owner's manual and safety instructions. I'll be sure to read that cover to cover. And we have all of our components. This is the table, one of the handles for the press. This looks like the base. Some nuts and bolts and the crank for raising and lowering. A white mystery box. Probably some more nuts and bolts. Oh, the chuck. And the key. Those are very important. And our stand. Alright, so here's all the components in the box. Laid out on the workbench, pardon the dust, but this is a working shop, so you'll have to excuse me. Step one is column to the base assembly. Like so, and we got several bolts. Just like an IKEA set. 3 bolts, 3 washers, and 3 spring washers. A wrench doesn't fit around that one. In that position. That's some precision machinery we have here. Fits fine on these two. Step 2. Place the table support over the column rack. Pictures show it with this large gap at the top, small gap at the bottom. So we'll go ahead and do that. Goes off to the side. I'll slide the collar over the column with the beveled edge facing down until it presses against the top of the rack. Beveled edge. That's the beveled edge. We're going to go ahead and put the crank on because I think I need to crank it. I don't know what this rubber band is for that's on the crank spindle. It seems kind of strange. We're going to try this. Put that in position first on the gear inside the hole. And put this shaft in position over the gear and then put the whole thing over the column. Maybe. Yeah. And then slide it down. And then it works like a charm. Back to the collar. Tapered edge down. Tapered edge down until it hits the rack. And then you tighten the set screw. But do not over tighten. Should be good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this rubber band that's in here needs to come out. It's pretty weird. There we go, that's a much better fit. And now we attach the headstock to the column. There's two set screws in here on the left side of the column shaft that we need to loosen up so that they're clear of the column when we slide it over the top. So we'll do that now. Those are clear. With the help of an assistant, lift it onto the column. Let me get my assistant real quick. Good job, assistant. My assistant helped me put that on, lift the headstock above the column, slide it on, tighten the two set screws to secure the headstock in place. So here's where we're going to want to line this up. Just tightening those two set screws on the left side of the motor. I don't think this column is extending all the way up into the head unit, so I'm going to undo this set screw and reevaluate. There we go. Okay, now the column is all the way up inside the head unit. I was tightening that set screw all the way down and it just kept going. And now we should be good. We add the handles. There we go. Next step is the chuck. So the instructions say to make sure we clean off the arbor and the chuck. Make sure there's no grease or anything on it. Okay, the next step here is, according to the instructions, to insert the arbor into the end of the spindle, which they've already done. They just seem to not have updated their instructions. Then you open the jaws all the way on the chuck, which I've done. Slide the chuck onto the arbor as far as it will go. And then use a piece of scrap wood and give it a little percussive persuasion. according to the instructions, that's it. Left with 2 extra pieces here that I'm not entirely sure where they go. So we may revisit that. So it's supposed to move freely around the column, so I think I probably over tightened that collar. Yeah, it's supposed to move like that. And then you tighten up. Well, first you raise it or lower it to where you want. You line it up, and then you tighten this back clamp. And a little tighter than that, apparently. And then you're not going anywhere. So let's get a bit on here and make a hole in something. I already know I'm gonna lose the key, so I'm gonna attach it with a lanyard or something to the base. Here goes nothing. She runs. Now of course you can change the speed by changing the belts up in the head unit. Yeah, it's not bad. It's precise enough for all the holes I'm going to drill. Let's give her a rip. She works. It's a nice hole. Let's try something a little more substantial. Clean hole. Seems like it's worth $110. I think it'll work just fine in my shop. Obviously I didn't want to go all the way through because this spade bit is bigger than the hole in the table. That'd be something to wreck the table on the first pass, huh? So if you do want to adjust the RPMs, you just pop open the cover and you adjust the belts to the corresponding chart and the positions to the corresponding RPMs that you want. So I'm going to move this up just to about the, we'll do the 950 RPM position. So that's on the top spindle at this end and the second spindle on this end. You loosen these motor mount tensioners, and then the motor loosens up and it slides in to release the tension on the belts. And then you can just take that one off. And since this one's gonna go top and this one's gonna go on the second, so we'll put this one on first. Right, second, and this one's gonna go on the top. Like so. And then you push the motor back out until you get enough tension to deflect a 1/2 inch with your thumb. That's probably pretty good. Then you close the lid, plug it back in, and we'll give her another shot. Alright, let's fire it up with the faster RPMs and the new belt locations and see what she does. Bingo. Not bad. There she is, Central Machinery, 10-inch drill press, 12 speed. I think it'll serve my shop just fine. Thanks for watching another CCS and Sons video. Hope this was a bit helpful for you. I think for $110, if you have that coupon, this is not a bad benchtop drill press. Should work just fine in my wood shop. I probably wouldn't do any heavy metal working with it, but should work fine for most of my needs. If this was at all helpful for you and you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. Until next time, have fun.